one uh, one a question of the ecclesial status of another church, which is very important, obviously, and the other a very important question of sacramental discipline. They're questions that are always become so controversial and involve so much emotion. They distract us from simply preaching the truth and calling upon people simply to join the true church, without spinning our wheels trying to evaluate the whether there's grace left somehow or not in these heretical groups. Okay, I was talking to Father Leonidas the other day, and he said, if you read the Fathers, they rarely talk about some calculus about deciding whether there is grace left in the sacraments of heretics. Okay, what they're talking about is the truth of the purity of doctrine. And an earnest soul, or someone who's truly seeking his salvation, will, when exposed to the truth, will want to unite himself to bishops who are preaching the truth, and will want to separate himself from bishops who are either teaching heresy or in communion with those teaching heresy. Some people come to me and say, "Well, are you saying we don't have grace?" My response is, "Well, this is what your bishops have taught. They've taught it repeatedly, consistently over these decades. They are manifest public heretics. Now you tell me, why do you want to be with them? No, it's not my job to prove they don't have grace. It's your job to prove to me why you still want to be with them when they're manifestly are heretics, and our bishops aren't, and our bishops have apostolic succession." So we have to turn this around. You see, this no grace thing is usually foisted on us by people challenging us and trying to make us feel guilty. "Are you saying we don't have grace? You're so mean." And this reveals not only a pusillanimous and a childish mindset, it also reveals the wrong conception of grace. Grace is not a substance in a bottle that people with a certain franchise get to carry around with them. If I have the title of Bishop of such and such, I have the franchise. I carry this grace around in my bottle, and I can dispense it. That's really like the Latin heresy of created grace. Okay, grace it's the uncreated energies of God, and the uncreated energies of God are upholding the universe in existence at every moment. But certain conditions have to be present for that grace to be sanctifying grace, to come within the nous, the spiritual intellect, and to make us into the new man, to conform us to the image of Christ through the sacramental life of the Church. And the bedrock requirement is orthodoxy, is the truth. So to say, well, yeah, they're not teaching the truth, but they have grace, is just it's just a dumb thing to say. If someone had an Orthodox mindset, they wouldn't be going there. In other words. Mm-hmm.